All right, great. We're pleased to be joined with Foye Oluokun here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How are you? How was your break?
Doing well. Break was good. Got to see my friends, family, do a couple of things, get my mind away from the game. But a lot of training, definitely a lot of training, a lot of film study. But excited to get back here with the team, trying to improve on what we did last year.
You got a late start on your break because you stuck around in OTAs after Doug had dismissed the veterans to kind of, see what was going on. Why was that important to you?
I think, one, just building relationships with those younger guys that stayed around, or, showing that, guys who did have to stay around, that it's not above anybody to, be out there working. Break technically hadn't started yet, so, watching a couple plays out there and being able to give my input in the meeting rooms really wasn't nothing to me. My flight wasn't until later in the week anyway, so might as well come be around the boy.
That's awesome. What was it like in terms of, going through camp as you've gotten to this point in your career? What are some things that you sort of focus in on the first few days of training camp?
Effort. You want effort and energy, being able to show that you're still about what you were about when you came in the league. And then, give an example to everybody, because it's definitely long days. So whenever you're out here, just being able to show that I'm going to give my max effort for my team, and everybody kind of follows that. X's and O's going to get cleaned up as you go, really, but just staying crisp on what we learned before the break, being able to implement and improve on it now, but just being able to show that effort and energy. I mean, it's contagious, it's infectious. Definitely want to just keep bringing it.
Leading the NFL in tackles the last 2 years, how do you ramp up to be ready to be at your top form from a tackling fundamental standpoint September 10th against the Colts?
Being able to run yourself into shape now, run yourself into positions to make those tackles, being able to break down, understand leverage and stuff. And then a lot of it's trusting your teammates, being able to stay in your gap because your teammates in the gap over, being able to trust your leverage because your teammates breaking on the ball too. Just building those relationships out there and everybody, running to the ball. Tackles are going to be had, whether it's me or somebody else. We're going to get that guy on the ground, get the ball out, get turnovers. That's most important. Have a better year than last year.
Are the turnovers, is that a component that you're hoping to elevate this year?
Turnovers.
And yeah. And what goes into that?
Being around the ball. I mean, I got told early, Coach Bob saying it to these boys, now the ball is like oxygen. Can't breathe without oxygen. So being around the ball like your life depends on it. When you're around it and the numbers are in your favor, the ball's going to come your way. But then, being able to trust yourself, take a couple chances, because sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit. Trust yourself in that drop, know you can make the play, have the confidence to go make it.
Boy, you said something really interesting a few months ago when we were talking about being in year two with Coach Caldwell, that there's certain things you guys can do with the scheme, disguise things better, play with a little bit more. How has that process continued to develop?
It's been great. We're playing faster from last year already. Just building that rapport with the guys is just so important. But then everybody hearing that call already, everybody already played it before. Now we're knowing what calls to expect off of motion. Now we know what calls to expect off of weird formation and stuff. That way everybody's on the same page. When you're in year one to year two, it's a lot of take that second guessing out of it. We're just going out there playing faster.
What kind of jump have you seen Devin Lloyd make?
A lot of more confidence in what we're doing on the field. So he's not second guessing himself, his alignment, his assignment, just being able to go out there and play. Because that's a talented kid right there. And then when you're talented at what you're doing, you're going to be talented or confident in who you are. So just being able to keep trusting himself, and those plays are going to keep coming for him.
What has stood out, if anything, about the defensive front, the secondary, things that you've seen that you feel like are improved?
One more time.
Just things, defensive line, secondary, kind of the guys around you. Yep. What has sort of stood out, if anything, about the improvements that those units have made?
Right now it's about communication. Our communication is getting better as a unit. And we're already, we had a whole bunch of breakdowns of what we need to get better at as a team. And everybody, even though we had a lot of turnovers, we know we got to get better at certain things. We got to get off the field on third down. We got to tackle better as a unit. Everybody has that same mindset, and that's where we're keeping on growing to as these days go on.
What stood out to you about, the offense as you go against those guys? Trevor, the backs, the receivers?
Explosive, man. They're fast. All them boys fast. You got to be able on your P's and Q's of communication, because if you're a step behind, they can just leave you. A lot of talented guys with the balls in their hand, with the ball in their hands and stuff. Pick your poison. Really, it's going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams, but for us, we're just going to keep working, improving every day, because we go up against guys like that. Everybody's hungry on that team to prove themselves too. We're excited to prove ourselves this offseason, or the rest of this offseason.
Foye, last one. I appreciate your time. How much has the facility helped you as a pro go about your craft?
It's really cool. Does it help me? I guess we got a lot of stuff. I'm going to find a way regardless. But it's really cool. Everybody's excited every day coming in. A lot of bright lights in there. It's just easier to come in today and work. Though, I mean, last year you just get comfortable with it. You know, it was kind of our place. We just made it our home. But this, we're going to make it our home just as well.
Awesome. Foye Oluokun, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck as training camp keeps going.
I appreciate it, man. Nice. Thank you for having me.